Good morning. My name is Catherine M. Walker. I'm an indie author with 6 epic fantasy books and soon to be 7. Welcome to my channel. This is my weekly update. So the first thing that I have to update everyone on is Project YouTube. Which is this channel. I started this back in August, so it was about the 19th of August from memory, and I had the goal of trying to get my channel monetized. I'm not there yet, so that's not the news, but I'm getting there. For those who don't know, if you're looking at monetizing a channel, there are 2 major goals that you need to achieve to do that. One of them is 4,000 watch hours. That was the one I was initially worried about. As it turns out, that goal was pretty easy to achieve. So for any indie authors out there, if you have audiobooks, you are looking at YouTube as one of the channels you want to do some social media on, getting monetized isn't, the hours aren't the part that you need to worry about, essentially. The second goal, which I've found a little bit harder to achieve, and I'm not quite there yet, is that you need 1,000 subscribers. I'm basically, yes, as of last night, officially, I'm at the halfway mark. So I've just clicked over 500 subscribers. So thank you to everybody who has hit that little subscribe button so far. That's really a big help. I'm halfway there. It gives me hope that maybe I might get there. Maybe. It won't be till next year sometime. My birthday is about 5 months away, so that's May next year. Probably won't get there by then, but we'll see. Hopefully before August next year, before the 12-month mark comes out, we'll see what happens. But the 500 subscribers, it doesn't give you a great deal. I think there's a little button you can put up that people can do super chats or something for lives. I do lives. I will be planning to do more about once a month though, so I don't do a lot of them. I can't see that. I'll obviously put that little thing up, but generally when I do a live, no one's actually listening anyway, so that won't make much difference. But that's not really the part I was after. The monetization basically means the ads that they put throughout the audiobooks for everyone who's listening to them, YouTube just keeps all the money for that. I don't get a share of that, even though it's my content that they're putting those ads through. Once I get 1,000 subscribers, then some of that money that YouTube collects from those ads, the ad revenue will go to me, which is what I'm looking for. I don't know how much or what it's going to look like. I'll update you on that one if and when I get the subscribers. The secondary thing that I will do once I hit, or when I do get monetized, will be at that point I will start recording and narrating my second series of audiobooks, and I will put those up on my channel as well for people to listen to. So that will be Unwanted, Sacrifice, and Defiance, which will be a complete series. That will take me some time to narrate, so that is one of my projects for next year, if I get monetized. My second update will be my writing update. And right now I'm back in Project Warlord. I think I mentioned that last week. I do have a cover. The cover reveal at this point will be next year, but let's face it, that's not too far away. What else? So I'm up to my eyeballs in self-edits, essentially. I did send it away and got some feedback from one of my readers, which was really good to receive. So I went through and I've integrated some of those things into my manuscript. I've also now been going, so To send it to a reader, I had to take it out of Scrivener, which is the program that I write in. So I then started doing some of those changes and edits in Pages. As it turns out, I've been working on just the smaller tweaks, things like overused words, repetition is a big one for me. So I've chopped out some of that things where it gets bogged down when I recognize, oh wait, I've already described this in detail over here, so I don't need to do it here. And like the reader already knows this quite well. I think that one of the reasons I do that is I am a discovery writer. Things aren't necessarily written in order, so it happens. At least that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But either way, I've been trying to get rid of some of the repetition as well, and looking at some of the clunky sentences when you read it over and it's not quite there. So condensing it, making it smaller, simpler, so it actually makes sense sometimes. While reading it, how to put it, these are things that sometimes I discover when I'm reading through. So one of those runs that I went through, I read it out aloud and then marked up when it became too clunky. That's how I self-edit, basically. If you're wondering and you haven't reached that point yourself, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. For me, it is not one run. So I don't just go through one chapter and go, okay, I've done everything for that, move on to the next one. Some people may do it that way. I will run through and concentrate. So from beginning to end, concentrating on one or two aspects each time I go through. So this current run through, I am copying from my Pages document and putting it back into Scrivener. While I'm doing that, I'm also concentrating on one of my characters, so one of my antagonists, Eldrick, and just tweaking his motivation and his character a little bit as I'm reloading back into Scrivener. The reason I am putting it into Scrivener is that I have one new scene or chapter really to write, potentially two. There's this chapter I need to write. I've tried it from Eldrick's point of view previously. It didn't really work because I couldn't do everything I needed to do with that chapter to close up this little thread that I left dangling in the version that my reader has read. To close it up properly, it needs to be in a different point of view. So I'm reintroducing that scene, but I'm going to try and change the point of view and see if that works better. And I should be able to close off the chapter properly. The problem with that is that it doesn't introduce a new character. This character is already in there. They are one of the main characters within the story. They just haven't had a point of view point at this point. To keep this story condensed and as a novella, I only allowed myself 2 point of view characters throughout the whole thing. So introducing the third, I'll see how it goes. I may then introduce another scene just earlier to round off that character. They are a major character, so we'll see how it goes. And I'll see if I actually need to do that extra scene just to smooth the whole thing out. And if I do that, that will actually just close a little loop of one other element that's in the story as well. But because I need to do that, I prefer to draft in Scrivener rather than things like programs like Pages or worse, Word. I know some people do write in Word. I just can't draft in it. It just does not work for me. So that's basically where I'm at with Project Warlord. It's not really a lot to do, but I do not see myself finishing this before the end of this year. So it's looking like the release will be next year at this point. Not necessarily such a bad thing. As I indicated last time, I believe there were some dramas that popped up, and my father is currently in hospital, so that's what has caused a bit of a delay. There's been a bit of running around and back and forth, but that's okay as well. Family is more important than my word count, and when this comes out, it will be out. It will just be out. I'm tipping January at this point. I'll clarify the exact date that will be a little bit closer to it when I know how it's going. Anyway, that's it for me this week, and we'll chat again next week. Although I may be recording this the day before, since next Wednesday I do believe is Christmas. That will be the 25th of December. Let me make sure. Yes, it will be. So I won't be doing an update on that date. I will pre-record it probably on either the Tuesday or the Monday. We'll see how it goes, or it might be a day late or two. We'll see. But either way, I hope all your preparations for Christmas go well and that you have a great writing week. We'll speak next week. Bye.